there's obviously a lot of conversation going on around Charlie Kirk and the taking of his life. And I'm certainly not one to, complain that people are making videos or having conversations about it. I'm doing the same thing. But I have to be honest with kind of a way that a lot of this recent rhetoric has made me feel. And also tell you that I'm open to being convinced. I'm open. You guys know I'm an America first guy. America first, America only. At least for, give me 100 years of that. Let's see how things work out. I have seen a lot of conversation around Charlie Kirk's passing, and all of it is okay. But I feel kind of weird that a lot of people are using it as a springboard to push other non-important issues or lesser important issues right now, using Charlie Kirk as a cudgel, for example, against whatever they already hate, whether it's Groypers or it's Israel, both sides of that. I've seen it all. And I've seen people who purportedly are Charlie Kirk's friend use his passing to push their narrative without evidence. There is a lot of conversation, mostly on X, and you never really know how real X is, that, for example, Israel, they're implying that Israel is somehow involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm standing right here, right now, telling you I'm willing to hear your evidence, but I have been asking for said evidence for 2 days now, and I've literally only gotten, trust me, bro. Now, there are some things that seem to be true that are being mentioned here, but I think two things can be true. You can both be skeptical of Israel's involvement in the United States government, like I am, and also skeptical of any foreign government, being involved in our government. And you can also believe it that Charlie Kirk lost his life to a radical leftist. And I think making that distinction is important. There's a lot of, line blurring here where people are simply saying Israel and they're not saying anything. And everyone's just like, and I just think that Charlie Kirk would not have agreed with that. Charlie Kirk was obviously very pro-Israel. Now, there are some things that have come out that look bad, and I will address them. First and foremost, the claim that TPUSA was offered $150 million by Israel. Several people, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, have made this claim. I cannot debunk this claim. I can only say that that's one thing, maybe that's true. But the important thing is that both people said he turned it down, right? He was offered money. The implication is to shill for Israel by these people, and maybe that's true, okay? You don't get $150 million with no strings attached. I don't think it's that crazy of a leap to make. But the important thing that gets lost is that Charlie Kirk turned it down. There is also the implication that they wanted, that nobody ever knows who they are, wanted Charlie Kirk, that he was under immense pressure to disassociate himself with Tucker Carlson. That is probably true. But the important thing, the thing I want people to take away from this is that he refused. In fact, he said, because so many people want Tucker Carlson removed from my Turning Point USA events, I want more of him. I will have him at AmFest, he said, reportedly. The important thing is that not only did Charlie Kirk turn down this alleged $150 million from Israel, he also rejected people telling him to deplatform Tucker Carlson. As Mike Cernovich tweeted, you can simultaneously believe that Israel had zero to do with Charlie's assassination, which is also my view and his view, and also that donors demanded Charlie deplatform Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith. I also believe that is true. But the reason I'm making this video is not to shill for Israel, okay? I think that there are legitimate criticisms of Israel, and I think that they are too involved with our government. I also think that changing the conversation away from Charlie Kirk so soon and the people that took his life in order to push, the Israel topic is a little ghoulish. And look, I'm sure this video is going to get a lot of thumbs down. That's okay. I'm good. I'm happy and hope that we can disagree, right? But all I've asked for is a little bit of evidence. I'm begging you for evidence if you're going to make the implication that the two are involved. As I said in my reply, I also believe this, but I think it's pretty gross to use his death in this coverage to basically imply Israel killed him. It's like these people didn't know Charlie at all. And then, of course, people say, "Whoa, did Charlie start, this says, did Charlie start criticizing Israel more recently? Yes. Could that seriously harm Israel? In Israel's opinion, yes. Would Israel do this? Yes. Okay, well, that's fine." He goes on to say, "I doubt Israel did it." Okay? So I don't want, this is my concern. The whole narrative's going to get shifted to Israel again, which, again, there's plenty to talk about there. But I would like the conversation to stay on the trans radical groups, possibly funded by government NGOs, that took the life of Charlie Kirk. This has nothing to do with Israel. And if you think it has everything to do with Israel, I am begging you for evidence. People saying Candace Owens did 3 back-to-back ad reads while covering Charlie's assassination. Look, I don't care about that. I've had to turn down ad reads in the past couple weeks because I feel like, hey, I'm not going to put an ad read, in one of these videos. But as the story evolves, I mean, it's like, how long is the story going to go on? People can do ad reads. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't think that Candace Owens is only doing this for the money. I think Candace Owens genuinely believes, what she says. I don't agree with everything Candace says. I don't disagree with everything she says, but I believe she believes what she says. I would never call her a grifter. I believe she says she means what she says. To be a grifter, you have to be lying. This says the notion that Charlie was trending towards groiperism is insane and desecrates his memory. Again, I think that is the same thing that you're doing when you're obsessing over. Look, if you want to criticize Israel and what they're doing, I think that's great. That's cool. You should do that. And you have every right to do that. But I think just be careful about conflating by diverting away from who really took Charlie Kirk's life, because it was a trans radical. There is not a shred of evidence anywhere that would denounce that. As I tweeted, I've seen a mountain of evidence that Charlie Kirk's life was taken by a gay man dating a trans man. The bullet engravings, the leftism, the family and the friend interviews, trans people celebrating it. What I haven't seen, I've seen zero evidence of Jews did it. I've seen zero Jews celebrating it. When I was at a Charlie Kirk vigil yesterday, the guy delivering the prayer was a rabbi, I think, or he was Jewish. Charlie had a deep relationship with Jewish people. He defended, the same people who are pushing this, the Jews like Ian Carroll, right? Charlie Kirk tweeted this August 25th. This was like a few weeks before his death. Jew hate has no place in civil society. Let's look at the replies. Let's look at the replies. Again, I said the same people today saying the Jews took his life because he didn't support them enough were harassing him and blasting him mercilessly for being too pro-Israel. Let's see who's in this thread. Let's see who's in this thread of this initial tweet. All right. Nick Fuentes. You'll debate everyone but me. Dan Blazarian. If your position was defensible, you wouldn't be afraid to debate. So everybody who is now saying the Jews did it because he's too pro-Jew a week ago, 2 weeks ago, this isn't unearthing a 20-year-old tweet. This is August 25th. Okay? 2 weeks ago. All the people saying, well, the Jews did it. We're all over for being too pro-Jew 2 weeks ago. Like, can we just chill on it? Can we not drag Charlie's memory into this? There's plenty of things to criticize Israel's involvement in the United States in. Okay? I am not pro-Israel. I'm pro-Americans. Now, Candace Owens talked about a meeting that allegedly happened, and it seems like it's been at least confirmed by those who claim to be there. Allegedly, Seth Dillon of the Babylon Bee and billionaire, what is the guy's name? Bill Ackman berated Charlie for not being pro-Israel enough. And again, by the way, this is, I don't know when this was, but, you know, people are saying, you know, Candace is like, Charlie was my friend. In this video, Charlie refused to even debate her. And I think as far as I know, like, as far as I know, Charlie has not refused to debate anybody.
Charlie, and I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens, and, you know, I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her, but she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick, for instance. I'm sure you've heard of him. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working, but now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who, I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'm going to debate Candace.
He won't even debate her. But Candace tells you that they were great friends. Now, maybe that's why he wouldn't debate her, because they're friends. Or maybe it's because he doesn't even want to be involved in it. You have to pick a lane. Either he was too pro-Israel or he was anti-Israel, but it can't be both. And you have Max Blumenthal. You know, Charlie kicked off the retreat by saying that if he tweeted, I think Bibi Netanyahu resigned, that he would be unfairly attacked. This allegedly agitated Seth Dillon. Again, no evidence of this, just he said, she said. Bill Ackman responds, here's Andrew Clovet. Charlie's team has confirmed that real Candace Owens is lying. I have asked about the Bill Ackman event. More than a few times now, I was asked our staff who are traveling with Charlie to find out what's true and what's not. His team was with him 100% of the time when he wasn't in his own hotel room. Here's what they told me. Bill Ackman never yelled at Charlie Kirk, never pressed him on Bibi Netanyahu, never gave him a list of Charlie's offenses against Israel. These are all claims made by Candace Owens. There was a concern raised by having Tucker Carlson at SAS, I don't know, some sort of convention. We don't believe this came from Bill. And Charlie's reply was, honestly, people tell me not to have Tucker, makes me want to have Tucker. I'm going to lock him in for AmFest too. Charlie personally told me he had a very cordial relation with Bill and the event was productive. This whole nonsense that they put him through a struggle session, there's just no evidence to support it. There's no evidence to support it. And all I'm asking for as a normal human being is if you have evidence to give it to me and I will cover it on this channel. Okay, give me the evidence. Or if there is no evidence, please feel free. Welcome to continue criticizing Israel. That's fine. Okay? But can we stop conflating it with the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Charlie says, or Candace says, there's more coming out, guys. The truth is inevitable. They are lying. Okay, well, give me some evidence. That's all I'm asking. Or continue to criticize Israel, but just don't conflate it with Charlie Kirk's death, because it takes away from another very important issue, which is these militant trans groups that are taking the lives of conservatives and conservative children. We can have 2 points of attack. Let's just not cross the streams. That's all I'm asking. I think it disrespects Charlie Kirk's memory.